You ever hear of a blind bull raising two orphaned foals and starting something so big it changed how people see animal healing forever? I didn't believe it either until I saw it happen right here on our ranch, in a tucked-away corner of Wyoming where nothing much ever changed until Jasper came along. Now, Jasper wasn't always blind. He used to be one of those proud, hulking Angus bulls that folks looked at with a mix of fear and respect. Head down, horns forward, nothing fancy, just pure power. But then one summer storm rolled through, and a lightning strike took his sight clean out. He survived, but when he got up, everything was dark. We all thought that was the end of his days being useful. Turned out, it was just the beginning of something none of us could have imagined. The moment everything shifted was when we lost that Arabian mare, Juniper. Complications at birth left two tiny foals behind. Their names would become Stella and Scout, though we didn't know that yet. I'd seen orphan foals before, and the plan was the same as always. Bottle feed, constant watch, maybe we'd save one. But both? Chances were slim. Then, first morning after the storm, I walk out to the far pasture and there he is. Jasper, standing over those foals like some kind of sentinel. I froze, thinking he might hurt them. But the babies? They were curled up against his front legs like he was mama. He wasn't moving, just breathing slow, head down low like he could feel them. It didn't stop there. Jasper, blind as could be, started doing things I wouldn't believe if I hadn't seen them myself. He'd nudge those foals softly, gently leading them toward the water troughs or the little feed stations I'd set up out in the pasture. I never trained him to do that. Heck, I didn't even know how he found them, but he did. Carlos, my ranch foreman, he said it first. That bull sees with his heart. And honestly, he was right. You'd watch him tilt his head, sniff the wind, shift slightly when one of the foals made the softest sound. Stella was always the bolder one, silver coat and fearless, but she'd stay close, making these little nickering noises so Jasper could find her. Scout, darker, quieter, was always pressed close to Jasper's side like he didn't need to go anywhere else in the world. Veterinarians started showing up. Dr. Elena Foster, from Casper, said she'd never seen a bull act like that. She said bulls weren't wired for nurturing, not like that. She called it unprecedented, and yeah, I guess it was. But Jasper didn't care about precedents. He just knew those babies needed someone. Then came the coyotes. One night, a mangy-looking thing wandered too close. I was halfway across the field with Carlos when we saw Jasper standing still between the coyote and the foals, letting out a deep, rumbling growl I didn't know bulls could even make. That coyote froze, like it felt something ancient and dangerous coming from that blind bull. By the time we got there, the predator was gone, tail tucked. But the foals didn't just rely on Jasper. They began guiding him too. I remember watching Scout walk slightly ahead of him, brushing his side now and then so Jasper wouldn't trip on a rut. It was like the blind were leading the blind, except somehow they weren't. By the time they were a month old, that trio had a rhythm like a song only they could hear. Every morning, they'd greet each other, soft touches, low sounds. Jasper would sniff them top to tail like a mother checking for scratches. Then off they'd gone very far, always together. Other animals noticed. Even our lead mare, Rosalind, started showing up at the fence, watching the foals from afar. I think she was trying to call them over, like maybe she thought it was time they joined the real herd. Those babies need to learn how to be horses, Carlos muttered one afternoon. And then Rosalind made her move. She popped the latch, yes, with her teeth, which she'd never done before, and trotted straight into Jasper's pasture. It was tense. She was dominant, a leader, and those foals were technically hers to reclaim. But Jasper didn't charge. He didn't snort or stomp. He stood there calm, making the softest, strangest sound I'd ever heard from him. Not a warning, more like a plea. The foals, caught between them, moving back and forth. Confused. Scared. I was ready to run in, break it up, but then Rosalind stopped. She lowered her head, backed off, just gave a little nod. A gesture of respect, maybe, or understanding. From that day on, she didn't try to separate them again. Instead, she joined them. It became this odd little family. Jasper the blind bull, two young foals, and now a lead mare who respected a bull's authority. I don't even know what to call that except beautiful. And the foals? They started changing too. By the time they hit their first birthday, they weren't just grown, they were gifted. I don't mean fast or strong, though they were that too. I mean intuitive. Sensitive. You'd have a sick lamb on the ranch, and Scout would find it. Stella would corral the younger foals during storms. And they'd still check in with Jasper every morning, leaning their heads into his chest like it grounded them. But the moment that changed everything again was when Rebecca Sullivan, a friend from the next county over, called about her stallion Phoenix. He'd gone wild after a trailer accident. Wouldn't let anyone touch him. They were thinking of putting him down. I offered to bring Stella and Scout. Some folks called it reckless. They're just horses, they said. What can they do that trained vets can't? But I trusted them. When they walked into that pen, Phoenix charged the fence. Stella didn't flinch. Scout stood beside her. They didn't move toward him. Didn't back away. Just stood. Present. Calm. Like Jasper would have done. Took 3 days. No touching. No commands. Just presence. On the 4th, Phoenix approached. Just close enough to sniff. Then he let Scout touch his flank. Rebecca cried. I did too. Phoenix made a full recovery. And the world noticed. We started getting calls from rescues, from universities, even the military. Everyone wanted to know, how did a blind bull and 2 orphaned foals become the best animal healers anyone's ever seen? The answer's simple. They loved each other. Jasper didn't see them. He felt them, protected them. And in return, they learned to protect others. Stella and Scout became ambassadors, mediators, peacemakers. We built a program around them, the Jasper Method. And animals came from everywhere to be healed by them, and eventually, with them. Even Luna. She came to us, so broken she couldn't be touched. Would rear up at a leaf moving. But Scout and Stella sat outside her pen for days. No pressure, just presence. And one morning, she walked up to Jasper and touched his shoulder. She's part of our team now. We've rehabilitated over 300 animals at the ranch. Not with medicine, not with force, but with time, patience, and trust. Jasper taught them that. And when he passed quietly, one fall morning, under golden skies, the whole ranch knew it. But no one panicked. Because his legacy didn't die, it multiplied. Now there's a bronze statue of Jasper at the center of Meadowbrook Ranch. The inscription reads, "Love sees with the heart." That blind bull taught 2 foals to be the eyes of the world, and now they're teaching the rest of us what healing really means. If this story moved you, take a second and tell me what you think. Should more ranches adopt Jasper's way? Do you believe animals can heal each other better than we can? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you've got your own story about a bond that defied the odds, share it. We need more of that in this world. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear more stories like this. Because sometimes, the ones with the softest voices have the most powerful things to say.